y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I have been editing this video today, so everything in this video has already happened. And I just want to give a little disclaimer. This has been a rough summer. It's been a rough summer. Like, I can't even think of another summer since I've been based in Dallas that has been as bad as this one. And you are going to see that in this video. But what can I say? This is my real life that you're watching. I know I've posted lots of bad days as a flight attendant before, but yeah, this summer has been especially difficult. But if anybody is watching this that wants to be a flight attendant, I definitely don't want to discourage anybody from that. I just want to throw that out there. I just went on a few rough trips this summer that you're going to see in this video. Anyway, I'm just about to get ready for bed. This is my favorite part of my nighttime ritual. Y'all have probably heard me talk about this before, but the Beam Dream Powder, it is so helpful for my sleep. I'm not a good sleeper. I've never been a good sleeper. A lot of the time I have a hard time getting to sleep, staying asleep, and every other sleep aid that I've tried, I just wake up feeling groggy and icky the next day, and this makes me wake up feeling ready to go and refreshed. This flavor especially is delicious. They have lots of flavors to choose from, but the chocolate peanut butter, it's so good. It tastes just like hot chocolate. It uses ingredients like magnesium, melatonin, and L-theanine to help you calm down, relax, get ready for bed, and it works very fast. And I've tried lots of different sleep aids in the past, and this one is the one that works the best for me. It's honestly like a little treat before bed. They also have capsules, so that's an option if you prefer capsules. I've also bought these before and they work just the same. I just love this stuff so much. I can't say enough good things about it, and I will continue to repurchase this over and over because it works so well for me. So if you're like me and you have trouble sleeping, I definitely recommend. So if you want to check out Beam, they'll be linked in the description box below, and I have a code which is just my full name, Casey Cassidy. You can use that code to get up to 35% off your Beam order. Yesterday was just a rough day. We did not make it to Denver. Where to begin? So actually our first two flights, they were on time. So we made it back to Dallas on time after that Fort Lauderdale turn. And our last flight to Denver was delayed. I think originally it was delayed because of weather. So we got back to Dallas like 7:30, I think. And our flight to Denver was originally at 9:30 p.m. So we had a 2-hour sit already built into the trip. So we knew we were going to be sitting in Dallas for a couple hours. We got delayed like an hour at first because of weather. So then we're sitting there waiting, and the original plane that we were supposed to be working was coming from somewhere else. I think like Punta Cana or something. Then that plane, I guess, went somewhere else. I don't know who took that plane, but we got a different plane, and our plane was coming from the hangar. So it had maintenance and they were working on it in the hangar. And so while we're waiting for that plane to come from the hangar, there's storms. Storms are happening, and they can't bring the plane from the hangar to our gate when storms are happening. We were sitting there waiting for them to bring the plane from the hangar for at least like 2 hours. And nobody has any answers. Like, the gate agents aren't even there yet. The pilots don't know anything. So we're sitting kind of close to the gate, and passengers are coming up to us and like asking, like, give us the tea. What's gonna happen? Are we gonna get to Denver or what? And we're like, we literally have no idea. We finally made it on the plane at 11:45. So we get on the plane, we check our equipment, we're ready to go, and we're watching the clock because we are getting close to timing out. We had to have the door closed by like 12:24 a.m. or we were going to be timed out. So at that point, we got to get this show on the road or else we're going to time out. So number one is like, all right, we're ready to go. I'm going to tell the gate agents we're ready to board. So I start working in the galley. I'm setting up the carts, and I look up after a little bit and no passengers have come on yet. So I'm like, what's going on? Where are the passengers? It turns out that the gate agents were having some kind of computer issue and they couldn't get the passengers scanned on. So of course we timed out. So that was at like 12:30, 12:45 a.m. And we're calling crew scheduling, asking them what to do with our trip, because at this point, you know, we had commuters on our crew, so they need to get a hotel. Like, we couldn't just leave. We had to like call and let them know what was going on and have them say, yeah, you're timed out, you know, go home. And also tell us what we're doing with the rest of our trip. It was just a mess. On top of that, it was so hot in the airport. I don't know what was going on. The air conditioning was broken in most of the airport. The air conditioning was out in most of the airport yesterday. So on top of the delays, these people are roasting in the terminal. It was just a mess. It was almost 1 a.m. by the time we were actually getting off the plane to go home. And the worst part is that when I woke up this morning, it was like 9:30, those passengers were still delayed. Whenever we left at like 1 a.m., they were delayed until 5 a.m. So if you're delayed from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., you're probably not going to go get a hotel. You're probably just going to try to take a nap somewhere in the airport. And since the original delay was due to weather, they're not going to pay for you to get a hotel, even if you wanted to go take a nap at a hotel. So those passengers were probably sitting there until they took off at like 11:30 a.m. today. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they found other ways to get to Denver. So now the rest of our trip is, today we're deadheading to Charlotte because we were going Denver to Charlotte today. So we're deadheading to Charlotte and then working Charlotte to Fort Lauderdale and then one leg home tomorrow. We have a long layover in Fort Lauderdale and our deadhead is already delayed. So we'll see what happens.
Much later.
So yet again, we are not where we're supposed to be. We got to the airport to deadhead to Charlotte and there were a ton of deadheaders on that flight. So all of us got on before the rest of the passengers. And there was a maintenance issue in the bathrooms in the back of the plane. Both of them weren't working. So they were working on that, trying to get that fixed so that we could go. I really don't know how long we were sitting there. It felt like a couple hours, but I really don't know. We were supposed to deadhead to Charlotte and then work Charlotte to Fort Lauderdale and then work tomorrow one leg Fort Lauderdale to Dallas. So the plane went out of service and then the new plane wasn't coming in until like 7 p.m. or leaving until 7 p.m., something like that. So we ended up getting removed from that Charlotte flight because we were gonna get to Charlotte so late. It was gonna delay, you know, they're not gonna delay Charlotte to Fort Lauderdale until 1 o'clock in the morning just so that we can get there when they've got flight attendants in Charlotte that could work that flight. So we were gonna go back to the airport tomorrow, deadhead to Charlotte, no, deadhead to Fort Lauderdale, work back. And that'll be the end of this 3-day trip. 2 layovers in DFW. That has never happened to me before. But I can't complain about having 2 layovers at home. It is 11 p.m. We just made it to Denver. This hotel is very cute. I love the big bathtub. I know I've got a fridge in there. I forgot to check in this one. Just making sure nobody crazy is hiding in there. And we've also got a little balcony. Well, not really. Anyway, it's cute. A bunch of pillows. I don't think I've ever seen so many pillows on a bed in a hotel. I didn't realize we also have a microwave in here, but this is all I brought, so don't really need a microwave for that. Actually, and then of course I brought an Alani Nu, and I did also bring a protein shake. Okay, good morning. I just got done getting ready in bed and I have like an hour. It is about 11:30 right now, so I'm just gonna be chilling here for like another hour. Today's gonna be a long day. We're going from Denver to Philly, sorry. Big difference. Came in last night from Phoenix and it was only like an hour and 20-minute flight. But today we're going here to Philly and then Philly back to Dallas. I think we get in a little after midnight, maybe hopefully before. Yeah, it's gonna be a long day. Thankfully, I've got a good book. I've not been reading very much lately and it's made me sad. This room was so comfortable. This bed, these pillows, 10 out of 10, so comfortable. I slept so well. Okay, good morning. It is about 9 a.m. We did get stuck in Philly last night. We got delayed at first because our plane coming in was late, and then it was just a mess from there. And of course, I only brought one Alani Nu. I had that yesterday, so I'm so tired right now. There were storms in Philly last night, so we were sitting there for like an hour and a half waiting for the rain to pass, and we had the whole plane boarded. Everybody was ready to go. So we were just sitting out there waiting to take off, and yeah, we sat there for about 2 hours, and then the pilots were gonna time out, so we went back to the gate. And then there was a chance that we were still gonna go because we hadn't timed out. I mean, we still had like 3 hours. I don't know if it was still weather or if we didn't have other pilots that could fly us down to Dallas at 1 a.m. But we did end up canceling, so we came here to this hotel. There's free breakfast downstairs, and I was looking for my phone and I'm talking to it. I'm tired. I need to go downstairs. I need to get a coffee. And our deadhead actually isn't until later today, like 1 p.m. But the number 4 and I are both gonna go try to non-rev on an earlier flight. But all the flights are full today, of course. So I don't know if we'll make it on. But if we don't make it on, then I've got a middle seat on my deadhead later. The other 2 flight attendants already made it out on earlier flights this morning, so hopefully it happens for everybody today. The only thing is I really want to be able to sleep, and it's very likely that I'll get a jump seat on this flight back to Dallas. And if you're in the jump seat, you can't sleep. So we'll have to wait and see, but I would get home earlier. This trip was going so well too. Like yesterday was such an easy day. That flight really wasn't even that long from Denver to Philly. I was thinking that the whole day was gonna go that way. Okay, so I'm gonna finish getting ready and then I'm gonna go get breakfast downstairs. All I have is my uniform. I really wish I brought something to wear for the deadhead / jump seat. If we make it on this earlier flight, I'm gonna have to wear my uniform. All right, time for a little Trader Joe's haul. I just got a ton of stuff at Trader Joe's. I think I went in there really hungry and really just like in a mood to cook and meal prep and everything. I thought these looked fun. Pretzel buns, and I got some turkey burgers to go with these. We've never made turkey burgers and it just sounded like fun. I was shocked that Trader Joe's actually had these two things because there's a recipe that's gone viral with this lobster bisque and the langostino tails, lobster tails, I think. Is that right?
What's a langostino?
I don't know, but they look really good. And I was thinking that we could make those, either that pasta or we could make lobster roll sandwiches. I got the brioche buns with the langostino tails with, I'm gonna have to make like a little mixture of celery, parsley, green onions, and mayo and lemon juice. And then we're gonna mix that all up with the lobster and put it on the sandwiches. Actually, also, why would they put patties like this? Well, that's definitely a flat item. I got some turkey burgers. Yeah, doesn't that sound fun?
Yes.
To go with, wait for it, pretzel buns.
Get out of town.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
And I got these deli chips to go with our sandwiches. I also have refrained from these for like a few years, it feels like. So I got some of these little mini ice cream cones. I got a lot of stuff at Trader Joe's today. I also got this snack combo, the chili lime tortilla chips and the everything but the bagel seasoning dip. These together are so good. I also got some shrimp. It's just gonna go in the freezer. And then I got 2 packs of the lobster and the lobster bisque, just because I didn't know if it was like a fluke that they had both of these. So if I love the recipe, I wanna have this stuff on hand. I also got some lemons, tomatoes for the pasta recipe that we're gonna make. Actually, there's also another pasta recipe that we're gonna make with that shrimp and orzo and some Parmesan cheese. I don't think I've ever gotten cheese in like the chunks like this before. I mean, I probably have, but I can't remember. Also been staying away from these, so I caved this time on the super sour Scandinavian swimmers. These are my weakness. I love these. I got 1 apple, watermelon chunks, which I'm gonna eat that right now actually. And I also got some grapes. I haven't had Trader Joe's grapes in a long time, so I really hope these don't disappoint me. Okay, so I actually decided to go with the lobster bisque pasta. So this part is all done and we're just waiting for the pasta. It looks like it's gonna be really good. I also wanted to show y'all the lobster sandwiches that I made. Okay, so this is the mixture. They were so delicious and super easy to make. So this is the mixture and I'm just gonna put it on one of these brioche buns. In the recipe video, she used hoagies, but they didn't have those. She also toasted this, or not toasted it, but like warmed it up on a skillet with some butter, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm just gonna slap this on and it's still gonna be so good. Okay, we just made it to the hotel in Salt Lake City. It is 8:21. So we've got like a 12-hour layover here. Our van time is at 8 a.m. It's a very nice room. I haven't checked in here yet. I haven't been to this hotel before. I really like the other hotel that we stay at, but this one's really nice too. And look at this interesting shaped cabinet. And in here we have our fridge and microwave. I love that. Coffee. Ooh, a little bit of a mountain view. Oh. I came prepared this trip with 2 Alani News, just in case we get stuck somewhere tomorrow, because that's how all my trips have been going this month. I'm gonna go shower and get ready for bed. I also need to post 1 TikTok today. I have been so diligent posting every single day on TikTok. I think it's been like a month now, maybe even like 6 weeks that I've been posting every single day, and I just hit 50,000 followers, which actually made me really excited. Today we just had the 1 leg from Dallas to Salt Lake, and something about being a flight attendant that I just didn't really know. It's so interesting to kind of learn all of the different cultures within the US. Growing up, we didn't really travel that much. We would go to Florida in the summer, Gulf Shores, Gatlinburg, like things like that. But I feel like I never really traveled outside of the Southeast. Really just didn't know that there were so many different cultures, even though we're in the same country. So anyways, if you know anything about Utah Mormon culture, they don't drink coffee, they don't drink alcohol. So today on the plane, I set up the cart for the other two flight attendants to start from the front, and I'm the two, so I start from the back on my own cart and work my way up front. So I sent the other flight attendants on their way and getting my stuff set up in the back, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna make another coffee. We're going to Utah. I was like, nobody's gonna ask for coffee. Not everybody is Mormon, obviously. I'm not saying everyone is Mormon, and I'm not even saying that all Mormons don't drink coffee, but it's just a very normal part of their culture here. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna waste coffee. I'm just not gonna brew it. And then if someone does ask for it, I'll come back here and brew it. And not one person asked me for coffee. Not one person asked me for alcohol, but I ran out of all the Cokes. Everybody wanted Coke, Dr. Pepper, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Sprite. And I just thought that was so interesting. And I just started thinking, like, I wonder if I ever would have learned about that. I'm sure I would have. And maybe I learned most of this from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and from TikTok. I've learned a ton about the Mormon culture on TikTok, but it's a huge thing. Dirty sodas are a huge thing out here. They drink a ton of Coke, energy drinks, things like that, but they don't drink coffee or tea. Today was pretty easy, but tomorrow we're going from here back to Dallas, 3-hour sit in Dallas, and then a Cincinnati turn. Tomorrow's a long day, but I'm so glad this is a 2-day and not a 3-day. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to have a few days off. I feel like I've been working so much. All right, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Obviously, we did not make it home. Okay, so it is almost 1 a.m. It's 12:43. Today was a rough one. Actually, it's been a rough month. The only trip I've worked this month that actually went the way it was supposed to was in Odan. Everything else has fallen apart. This is like the third 2-day trip that's turned into a 3-day for me this month. Thank goodness I came prepared with this. I just had that feeling. I just knew something bad was gonna happen today. We were supposed to do a Cincinnati turn and then be back in Dallas like several hours ago. So when we were coming into Cincinnati earlier today, there were storms, tornado warnings, and really, really bad weather. So we had to divert. We went to Nashville, sat in Nashville for like an hour or two. I don't know. I can't even remember. Thank goodness our passengers were so nice. It could have been a much worse day than it was. But yeah, so we sat in Nashville for a little bit and then flew Nashville to Cincinnati, and then by the time we landed in Cincinnati, I mean, we were even timed out. At that point, it was like 11:45, 11:50, something like that. So we all timed out. Our flight got delayed till tomorrow morning. Very, very short layover. We're leaving tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. So I gotta go shower and get to sleep. I'm exhausted. So I'm getting ready in bed right now, and I went to get a little bit more product, and I almost put this in my Alani Nu can instead of in the product. So that is how tired I am right now. We've got about 35 minutes. I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm just gonna chill in bed, drink this Alani Nu, and thankfully we just have one leg home today. I did not sleep very well last night. Some of y'all know I like to watch Forensic Files or like Dateline on layovers. So last night I flipped on Dateline and it was just the most insane story that my eyes were glued to the screen. I was like, I have to know what happened. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I was awake for the end. But I mean, like, you knew they were gonna get caught, but it was so sad. It was the most insane, horrible, sad story. These two men came into this family's house. There's 2 kids, 2 parents, and they killed the parents, left the kids barely alive, and the killers ran away, left these kids. So after a while, the kids get in the car and drive to like their family member's house or like a family friend or something, and they took them to the hospital and they were in the ICU for days. And the 2 killers like kept going all over the United States and doing the same thing, and they finally caught them, I think in Colorado. They had gone to Arkansas, Texas, they're going all over, and I think they were from Oklahoma originally. It was just such a crazy story, and I could not sleep. I was like, I have to know what happens. But I don't know how bad I slept exactly because my Oura Ring's dead and I didn't bring a charger. So anyway, but yeah, I cannot wait to get home today. I do have a few days off, but I might try to pick something up. I just cannot believe every single trip has gone the same way this whole month for me. It's crazy.